This place needs no introduction. It's a place that almost every Indian dreams of visiting someday. Kedarnath. Some come here as part of their Char Dham Yatra, some as part of their Jyotirling journey, and some while completing their Panch Kedar. और कुछ लोग इसलिए जाते हैं क्योंकि उन्हें बुलावा आया है. वैसे तो 16 किलोमीटर का ट्रैक है to reach the temple, but Kedarnath was never really about the trek. What makes this place special is the energy. Thousands of people visit this place every day with their thousands of stories and thousands of reasons. बस सबकी मंजिल एक ही होती है, बाबा केदारनाथ. शायद इसलिए कहते हैं महादेव सबकी कहानी सुनते हैं. और आज मैं आपको केदारनाथ की एक और कहानी सुनाने आया हूं. मेरी कहानी. हर हर महादेव. I have been exploring the Himalayas for the last 6 years, and one thing I have learned is timing changes everything. Especially for places like Kedarnath, everybody knows how crowded this place can be. And for my first visit, I wanted to experience Kedarnath differently and peacefully. That's why I decided to come immediately after the monsoon, before the crowd started returning. And that's why you see हर तरफ इतनी हरियाली है. हर पहाड़ से वाटरफॉल्स बह रहे हैं. Every day, thousands of people come to this place. Some walk, some ride horses, some travel in palkis. Thousands of journeys, thousands of stories, and just one destination. वैसे तो weather prediction was clear. But if you have traveled to mountains, you know यहाँ मौसम कभी भी बदल सकता है. और वही हुआ. By the time I was done with 50% of the trek, बारिश शुरू हो गई थी. और धीरे धीरे पूरी केदारनाथ रेंज बादलों के पीछे छुप गई. While I love trekking in the monsoon, as clouds create some of the dreamiest landscapes you will ever see. लेकिन इस बार मैं थोड़ा disappointed था. Because I had imagined seeing Kedarnath for the very first time under clear skies. But the mountains have taught me something else as well. They never reveal everything at once. They teach patience, and they always reward those who wait. And that's what happened. The very next morning, the clouds disappeared. The same trail looked completely different, and I got to see the views I was waiting for. So, before we reach Kedarnath, let me show you what this journey looks like on a clear day. I have been to most places in Uttarakhand, yet somehow I had never been to Kedarnath. घर वाले हमेशा एक ही बात कहते थे, जब उसका बुलावा आएगा तभी जाना होगा। और काफी सालों तक मैंने भी इसी बात पर यकीन किया। Until one day, while I was visiting Tugnath for the third time, and a simple thought crossed my mind. Why not complete Panch Kedar this year? और उसके तुरंत बाद एक और ख्याल आया कि why just think about it? Let's do it. Because there are things in life that are in our control. And taking the first step is one of them. So here we are, केदारनाथ की तरफ चलते हुए. My third Kedar in my Panch Kedar journey. Not because I knew Mahadev had called me, but because maybe he was waiting for me to take the first step. Everyone comes to Kedarnath for a different reason. कोई महादेव से कुछ मांगने आता है और कोई सिर्फ उनका शुक्रिया करने. I also have things that I want in my life. कुछ सवाल हैं जिनके मैं जवाब ढूंढ रहा हूँ. But for some reason I have never been able to ask God for anything. बस माथा टेकता हूँ and I simply walk away with a quiet and blank mind. And maybe the reason is I already have everything that I deserve. I still don't know how to describe what Kedarnath meant to me. But I do know what it taught me. One of the biggest lessons from this journey was that there are things in life that are beyond our control. Like the weather, the mountains, the perfect moment, और शायद बुलावा जिसकी सब बात करते हैं. But then there are things that are completely in our control. We just need to take the first step. We need to show up and try. As I am from Devbhumi, I had easier access to Kedarnath than millions of people. Yet I kept waiting. Just like I have been waiting to start this YouTube journey. Procrastinating, overthinking, just waiting for the perfect time. Until I realized the perfect time rarely arrives on its own. You create it by taking the first step. That's why my first long form video had to be about Kedarnath. Not because it's the most famous temple I have visited, but because this journey reminded me that action is also a form of faith. And I think it's time to stop waiting and start walking. Because maybe the first step is all Mahadev was waiting for. हर हर महादेव।